Hey guys, this is Mr. Laterza. We're going to continue on the series that we've been doing on astronomy. And today we're going to do Jupiter. Now there's Jupiter up there sitting next to the moon. We call that a conjunction. Seems as if the moon is so much bigger than Jupiter, but no, that's not really true, because the moon's only about 250,000 miles away, whereas Jupiter's about 484 million miles away. In fact, in the night sky, Jupiter is brighter than any star you could possibly see out there. The only things brighter than Jupiter are going to be the moon and Venus, and neither one of those is a star, so those don't count. The Romans considered Jupiter to be the king of all the gods, which makes sense, because after all, it's more massive than all of the other stars combined. In fact, it's 2.5 times more massive than that. As a Jovian planet, it's got a quick rate of rotation. A day lasts about 10 hours, but a year is going to take about 12 years to complete, okay? Here's a good shot of Jupiter, and over here you can see the swirling whirlwinds that make up the storms and the hurricanes that are happening across the huge surface of Jupiter. In fact, Jupiter is so huge, if you were to open it up, we could drop 1,000 planet Earths on the inside. Jupiter has got about 67 moons. Ganymede is the largest of all the moons in the whole entire solar system. Now, what do we know so far as a result of exploration of Jupiter? Well, we know it has an atmosphere that's mostly hydrogen and helium. In fact, if it was a little bit bigger, a thermonuclear reaction would have happened, and that would have made Jupiter a star. We know that it's got massive storms across its surface, and by studying the moons of Io, we understand about volcanoes, and Europa, there's actually a thin layer of oxygen underneath it. Now, my dad, Honest Al, could never understand why we're spending all this money on the space program. Jupiter is a perfect example why. We've learned more about how hurricanes happen on the surface of planet Earth by studying how they happen across the surface of Jupiter. Volcanic eruptions, by studying what happens on the moon Io, we learn about the volcanoes here on planet Earth. And how about the evolution of life? We're studying Europa to see how that life itself is going to evolve. Now, Jupiter is going to be first discovered really by Galileo when he uses his telescope that he invented in 1609, and he sees not only Galileo, but he sees 4 of the moons. These moons are going to challenge what we call the geocentric model, meaning here's Earth, everything revolves around planet Earth. That was a theory that was supported by the church. By looking at the moons orbiting around Jupiter, Galileo was able to prove that that's a false theory, that he creates something called the heliocentric model. The church gets very upset over that, and they threaten him with execution. If he doesn't take back what he said, they're going to execute him. He takes it back in 1633. Finally, in 1992, the church absolves Galileo. How nice of them. Next thing we're going to look at is going to be Saturn. See you soon, guys.